Your book?
Miss, can I see from the shared screen?
I will not open because I have a PowerPoint. So I will explain something and then we will go to this point. Uh, okay. Um, Again, the
What, Miss?
page 267.
Good
Page.
morning, Miss.
Hello, Ahmed. Good morning. How are you? Okay. Fine. I know that we haven't read the text yet, but today I will pause for you the audio read by Mr. Adham for the text I Have a Dream, and then we are going to discuss the new word within it. But before we do this, today we are going to study something called the one of the tools that people use it in writing their argument. You remember we were studying the argument. Well, what is this? What is this? Okay, sorry. We were studying the how to write an argumentative text and the features of them. But we have some techniques that you can use in your writing this argumentative text, or even if you are arguing in your speech. We call this the persuasive. What you are doing, we call it persuasive speech. Of course, you know what the meaning of the word persuasive. What does it mean? Persuasive. But the meaning of persuasive speech. Wake up.
It was like to persuade the reader.
What the meaning of persuading the reader?
You just like يعني yeah, مثلا gives to give more facts that to persuade the reader.
So, okay, I just needed one other word for persuade. It means to convince.
Entertain?
Yes.
No, not to entertain. To persuade the listener or the reader, whatever you are writing or talking, it means that you convince him to follow your point of view. You persuade him. It means that let him believe just like you in the same thing. That's the meaning of persuasive speech or persuasive writing. It depends whether you are writing or talking. So we said here that persuasive speech meant to convince the listener of the speaker's point of view, which is the speaker supposed to be you, to convince him with your point of view. So in his speech, I Have a Dream, Dr. Luther King, he was trying to persuade the listener with a point of view. Do you remember what is this point of view that he was trying to convince you with or persuade you with? One main point of view, what was it?
To stop racism.
To stop racism, that's right. What else?
And freedom.
I need someone else. Come on, guys. Two classes of 9, A and B. I have only one person is interacting with me. What was the main point that he was trying to persuade you as listener, or the people who were listening to him at that time? Okay.
Miss, can I say?
Yes, sure. Go on.
Miss was trying to persuade that no one is different and
yes,
you
excellent.
can't judge someone by their color of their skin.
Excellent. That's it. Yes, this is another point. What else?
That all people have should get their rights.
Yeah, excellent. That's it. Another point too, that they have to fight for the rights. What right they have to fight for? To fight, sorry. What kind of rights should they fight for?
Getting education and health services.
Yes, getting the same or to be dealt with. They should deal with them in an equal way, like the white American people exactly. So
yes.
Yeah, so now he has a point of view and he has to persuade his listeners to fight for this thing. So what did he do? He uses or he employs several. He uses or he employs or he uses several techniques. We call those things rhetorical devices. Rhetorical devices. Have you heard this word before? Rhetorical? Yes or no? I need just yes or no. Don't worry.
No.
I will not
Yes.
ask you.
Yes.
I suppose that
Yes.
I
you.
think
I suppose that you have studied last year, but maybe you
yes,
have
yes.
studied rhetorical question, right? Or it was the rhetorical devices.
I think devices.
The rhetorical devices, okay. Anyway, just to remind you, the word rhetorical question, the rhetorical question, it's a question that does not need an answer. Then why are you asking the question? The question is just to evoke your feeling or your way or your thinking, to just to start to think about this point of view. Like exactly when I tell you, when are you going to do your homework? Do you think that I'm asking you a question, I need an answer? No, I'm just let you think about, oh yes, yes, sure, I have to go to do my homework. I have to catch up my homework. I'm too late. So like exactly when you keep making mistakes and one of your parents just tell you what are you going to stop doing silly things? Do you think they need an answer? No, they don't need an answer. We call this a rhetorical question, a question that does not seeking an answer or does not want an answer. It just wants you to think about this thing. When I'm going to grow up and stop making the silly things. The rhetorical question is one of the rhetorical devices. What do you mean of devices? Devices not of course machines. Devices means tools, techniques, ways. What are those rhetorical devices? We supposed to study 7 or 8 devices, different devices this year. I started with the first 4 that we have. They are found a lot in this speech, and inshallah next, I think it's the next unit we're going to study the other 4. Again, what are the rhetorical devices? Different types of word choices meant to create emphasis. It means that you put them in a special structure or a special way in order to do what? To emphasize a point. What do you mean to emphasize a point? You want to grab your reader attention to this point or to this word especially by doing or using special devices. Okay, what is the usage or what is the importance of those devices? They increase the impact of the word. It give a deep effect of the word that you are saying. Maybe it's like giving them emotional power. You give it emotional power. Right. Let's go to the devices to make it clear for you. The first thing called the charged language. A charged language. So what do you think it will be a charged language? How can I use something called a charged language? Can you guess?
No, yes, I can't.
Okay, a charge, what do you mean of a charge? A charge means that you are giving power to something, right? A charge,
Yes.
yes. So when the language is charged, it means that this language is having a power to do what? To arouse your emotion, to manipulate your emotion. This is the meaning of a charged language. So there are maybe words, sometimes they are images, sometimes they are phrases. You are looking for words or phrases or images that arouse your feeling, arouse your emotion, make you feel empathy with this thing, make you feel sympathy with this thing, any one of them. It means that you feel sorry for this thing. You feel that you want to share the same thing with those people. You want to help them or support them because they are suffering from something. So this is the meaning of a charged language. So one of the persuasive way, and of course this is effective when you use a charged language in your writing. Of course you are going to win your readers' emotion and feeling, so they will just support you immediately. This is one of the first devices. The second device of persuasive speech or the rhetorical device, it's repetition. What do you mean of the word repetition then?
To repeat a
Yes.
specific word.
Excellent. It's repetition. It means to use the same word. Take care of the thing. Repetition is using the same word. Using the same word or the same phrase as if you are doing what? Emphasizes an idea. You are telling your reader, please take care of this word. That's why you are repeating it in the same way. repeating it in the same way. Okay, miss, why are you repeating this thing? Yes, because repetition is different from parallelism. You remember we have studied in the grammar the parallel structure?
Yes.
Yes, the difference between repetition and the parallelism or parallel structure, that repetition you are repeating the same word. Like when you say, I have a dream, to do 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a dream, to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a dream. So I have a dream, repeating it, we are repeating the same word, so we call this repetition. But the parallelism or it is parallel structure, it means that you are repeating the same structure. I mean, you are starting with a noun, so the next part you are starting with a noun again, and the third part you are starting with a noun too. You are starting with a phrase, so the second part you are starting with a phrase, and the third thing you are starting with the phrase. The same words, miss? No, not the same word, but the same structure. The same structure. Noun, 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 preposition, preposition, preposition. Different, okay, but what part of a speech? The part of speech are similar. So the parallelism is repetition too, but of the same structure, not the same word. There's a difference between repetition and parallelism. Don't worry, we are going to see examples. I'm just explaining for you. The last thing is analogy, and I believe that you have studied analogy before. What the meaning of analogy generally?
To compare things
Yes,
that unlike.
that's right. It's a comparison between two dissimilar things, two things that they are not alike each other. But I just want to clothe the image to you by comparing these two things so you can connect the relation between them. So you can imagine to what extent that this word means to me. This is the word of analogy. So is it easy to find the analogy? Yes, sometimes the analogy you can find it generally, like the quilt of the camera, the quilt of the country, and sometimes it's so clear in front of you, like the simile or the metaphor exactly. Let's apply by what you have studied. Okay. Now we have here an example. This example I have taken it from the I have a dream. You'll find this example in paragraph 3 if you need to look at your book or use mine, my passages, okay. Here he has used all the rhetorical devices that we have studied, which are the charged language, the repetition, parallelism, and the last one was analogy. Okay, how can I identify them? Let's read together, and then we are going to discuss how to identify each one of them. Can someone read? Raise your hand, please. If you want to read, raise your hand. No one? Should I? Noor, okay, go on.
But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the what is this word, miss?
Manacles.
Manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination.
Discrimination.
100 years later, the Negro
Lives.
on a
Oh, sorry. Lives. Yes.
lives on a lonely island of poverty
Yeah.
in the midst of a
The midst.
vast of a vast ocean of material prosperity.
Prosperity. I bet that no one understands anything. Right? Right. Let me explain it. Let me explain it quickly. No problem. Yes. But what 100 years later, do you remember I told you that there was like an agreement happened 100 years later before that time that they have to stop the dealing with the African American in a different way to give them their freedom. But actually nothing happened, nothing changed. That's what make Martin Luther King to renew this this call again, calling for freedom for those people. What's meant by negro? Negro is the word used to refer to the black people. So he said 100 years later, the negro still is not free. They didn't get their freedom. 100 years later, the life of the negro is still sadly crippled. Crippled means unable. They are stumbled. They are stopped to move by what? Manacles. Do you know the manacles? They're like the handcuffs. Do you know the handcuffs? When the police catch a thief, he just put the manacles in his two hands. So he said that the negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of what? Of segregation. Do you remember what the meaning of segregation?
Yes.
What does it, okay, I don't need yes.
Unfairness.
What does it mean?
Unfairness.
Separation.
Oh, segregation.
Yes. Segregation, separation. Are they really, the question to all you, are they really have handcuffs in their hands?
No,
No,
this is
an
analogy.
image. Yes, this is an image. Oh, thank you for answering the question, Ranim. Okay, but excellent, really. They sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation. Segregation means the separation. They are separated from the rest of the society because they are different in the color. And the chains, of course, you know what the meaning of a chain, of discrimination. What the meaning of discrimination? Do you remember?
Injustice?
Differentiation. To deal with them differently. Discrimination and segregation. Segregation is separation and discrimination is differentiation. To deal with them differently. So they were crippled by manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. We don't have a real manacles, we don't have a real chain, but this is an image. He's drawing an image for you to tell you how much they were sadly crippled. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. Are they living on a lonely island, really?
No.
No, but they are. This is a referring to what? To the isolation. How they are isolated from the rest of the American society, and they are living in poverty. Do you know what the meaning of poverty? Does this mean that they are poor or rich people?
Poor.
So poverty is the noun of poor. Poor is the adjective. It means someone that doesn't have money to pay for, and poverty is the noun. Poverty is the noun. A lonely island of poverty in the midst, it means in the middle of a vast ocean. Can you imagine? Imagine a vast ocean, a huge or a gigantic ocean. And in the middle there is an island, and this island is very poor, and the Negro are living in this island very poor there. And this vast of ocean is what? Material of prosperity. It means that the surrounding society around the Negro people are living in prosperity, in wealth, rich life. Get this? Huh? You want to explain it again? Okay, I hope that it's more clear now. Now we are looking for the 4 devices that we have spoke about. Where in those lines did you find a charged language? Where did he use a very emotional word or phrase that affected you? Your hand. Your hand, Ranim Hatem. Only? I'm looking for a boy. Ritej. Okay, Ritej, I will accept. Okay, go on.
Sadly crippled?
Yes, excellent. That's right. The sadly crippled by the manacles. This is, I believe, this is a charged language, and even when we continue by saying the change of discrimination, you can say that thank you, Rita. The whole sentence has a charged language in it. Now we are looking for repetition. Where did he use repetition? And remember, repetition using the same word. Your hand. I'm looking for a strong boy. Someone has a courage to answer. Now the girls number are increasing. I'm sorry for that. Wamid, gone?
But 100 years later?
Yeah, that's right. How many times did he repeat it?
3.
Okay, let's see, underline it. Yes. When he said are you talking to yourself? 100 years later, and then he said 100 years later, and then he said 100 years maybe, okay, yes, later. That's it, 3 times, that's right. So this is the, yes. Oh, oops, sorry. Okay, I will not show it now. So the repetition is seen as on those 3 things. He repeated the same word exactly. Right. Now we are looking for the analogy. The analogy. We said analogy is the comparison, general comparison or direct comparison, whatever. Comparison. Yeah, Ahmed Sameh, where are you? Ahmed Shawqi, Hassan. Ammar, Adam.
Yes, miss.
Okay, do you have an answer? Analogy? What did he make a comparison here in this passage? Can you answer? Yes or no?
I don't know, miss.
Okay. Okay, Ranim, as long as you have said it before.
Yes, actually. Crippled by the manacles of segregation and the change of the chains of discrimination.
That's right. He compared the manacles to segregation and the chains to discrimination. So this is the analogy, making comparison between 2 unrelated things or 2 dissimilar things. Okay, so we are looking for the parallelism. What do you mean by parallelism again? Repeating the same structure but not the same word. Do you have a raised hand? Again, the same 2? Okay, I can, yes, we am gone.
When he said the Negro is still not free, and the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled, and the Negro lives on a lonely island.
Can you say it again? Where I want to highlight the parts where he repeated the same structure.
The Negro, when he talks about the Negro,
where the words, I want to highlight the word.
on the first one,
Where is it? Tell me to highlight
the
it.
Negro.
The word negro?
Yes,
Where is the same structure? They are repeated. Where are the 2 parts that you are comparing, or there is a repetition in the structure? You know what the meaning of repetitive structure? It means that we have a noun, a preposition, for example, and a noun. The second part is also a noun, preposition, and a noun. I mean this thing.
okay. I don't know.
Okay, let's stop. Let's listen to Zena. Do you have an answer? Thank you, Em.
Yes. By the manacles of segregation and the change of discrimination.
Yeah, the first
They are
one,
2 nouns.
yes, that's right. We have the manacles of segregation. This is the part, and the repeated structure is the chains of discrimination. Where the repetition, the parallelism here? Manacles is a noun, and chains is a noun. Of is a preposition, and of is a preposition again. Segregation is a noun, and discrimination is a noun too. So here, this is the kind of parallelism found here in the passage. Okay, this is the parallelism. Let's go to the third one, was repetition, and that's one that you have answered. 100 years later. Any question before moving to the second example? Is it easy for you to deduct the those devices in any passage? Is it easy, guys, to detect
Yes,
this?
yes, it is easy.
Right. Should I find all the devices in the passage? Of course not. You may find one, you may find two, you may find three, you may find the four of them. It's not a must to find the four devices in the same the passage. So you might find the text I asked you to get the three devices or four devices, and if you didn't find one of them, you have to write not available. It's not here or not found. Okay. We have another example. You'll find this is the paragraph 5. You'll find it in paragraph 5, part of it. Someone to read? Raise your hand, please. Someone to read. Nadine. Nadine?
Yes.
Yes, read, please.
But we refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great vaults of opportunity of this nation.
Did you understand anything?
Not really.
Yes, we are still in the speech. He said he said that we refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. Do we have a Bank of Justice?
No.
Of course there is not, but he is drawing an image for you that we have a bank full of justice. They do not want to believe that this Bank of Justice is bankrupt. What do you mean go bankrupt? What do you mean go bankrupt? Bankrupt means if you are bankrupt, it means that you had a great amount of money and then you lose it all. So you don't have any money. You lost all your money. You don't have any money to pay for the thing that you want. So he
like broke, Kamis.
Like what? Not to be robbed. You mean robbed? Someone
Broke,
steal you?
broke.
Croak. Oh, okay, okay. Can you spell the word, please, Ahmed?
B-R-O-K.
I said broke, like
Broken?
like broke, yes, I said broke.
Broken. Maybe this is an expression, but I don't want to agree on it until I make sure of it. But the Bank of Justice is bankrupt means that lost all the justice that it has. This is what he meant by this phrase. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds. The word fund means money, and insufficient, not enough. There are not enough money in the great vault. Vault means cell. Do you know the cell? It's like a room where you can save the things in it. Not enough money or funds in the great cells of opportunities of this nation. It means that have we lost all our opportunity of getting what? Of getting back our freedom? No, we don't want to believe that we have lost all the money or all the funds saved in order to, in this great cell of getting back or our opportunity to getting back ourselves. Remember, he's drawing an image. There is no money, there is no cell. He is just drawing an image for you. Do you have someone called Sif Hisham? No, right?
No.
Okay, so do you understand now the passage, what he is speaking about? He's
Yes.
drawing an image, yes. He is telling, no, we still have a chance to get back our freedom. I will not believe that we have lost it or that we don't have enough of them. Now we are looking for the three things again. Which words here he used here? Charged language. Sorry. Okay, you can raise your hand. What? There is no at all charged language?
Charge language miss.
Yes, that evoke your emotion.
Bank of justice.
Bank of justice. This is an emotional
Yes.
word.
يمكن.
Yes, okay. Well, yes, it's a part of it. I mean, when he said that we refuse that to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great vault of opportunities of this nation. Here he has used some chart language where that may evoke the listener or the reader's emotion. Okay, we are looking for the second one is let me just, yes, the analogy. Thing that he has compared them to each other. Analogy. Different, please. Other people. Analogy. Just try to think what thing that he compared to. It's very clear, by the way. He compared what to what, and I told you it's not real, it's just drawing an image. Hassan, Iman, Habiba, Hannah.
Miss, can you say again?
What?
Can you say again?
Analogy, where there is a comparison between the similar things that they are not alike each other. And I said it when I was reading. I said here we don't have a real thing.
Insufficient funds in the great.
What? Again?
Insufficient funds in the great vault.
Okay, this is one of them. We have another thing, another one.
Opportunity of this nation?
No. A bank of justice is bankrupt.
Yes.
The bank of justice is bankrupt. So the analogy here, when he said insufficient fund in the great vault of opportunity, this is one thing, because we didn't have a real cell, we didn't have money, but he just comparing it. And another one, when he said that the bank of justice is bankrupt, we don't have a bank of justice to say that it's run of money, but he was just making a comparison. Okay, the parallelism, a structure that he has repeated a structure. Repeated the structure. Okay, Ranim. Repeat the structure.
Just a minute.
Again? You were raising your hand by mistake?
No, I was reading it from the question
yes.
before the analogy.
Okay. Do you have an answer, Ranim?
No, I will just look for the answer.
Okay, does anyone have an answer? Okay, when he said yes, bank, let me highlight it for you.
Yes, I got the answer.
Yes, bank of justice. We have here noun, preposition, and noun again. And then when he said the vaults of opportunity, we have here vaults, which means cells, the noun, of preposition. Opportunity is a noun again. So here he has repeated the two structure, but not with the same word. We are looking for repetition.
We refuse to believe?
No, are you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, we refuse to believe, and then he repeats again in the second sentence, we refuse to believe. This is repetition of the same word. What's missed here? We have we have the 4 devices now. Okay, the third example. Okay, it's answered, but let's read the sentence. Let's not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. He's telling them that not because that we are very thirsty for freedom, we do not want to satisfy or to calm ourselves by drinking from the cup of bitterness. Do you know the meaning of bitterness? It is the opposite of sweetness.
Like sour?
Yes, but not sour exactly, but it's the opposite of sweetness. something bitter, something opposite to sweet, to something sweet. It means, but bitterness here, it comes because of the pain they feel, the suffering they're feeling. So we don't want to accept, he's telling them, we don't want to accept what we are in by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. Hatred means to show our hate to the white people. We don't want to do this. We want to make a change. The charged language that he used when he said, "Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst." The whole sentence is he used here a charged language, especially when he used the word bitterness, hatred, thirst for freedom. So you can consider the whole sentence a charged language. What analogy did he make when he said that he compared the cup of bitterness and hatred? We don't have a cup to drink from, but he just make a comparison here that the bitterness and hatred can be put in a cup. Parallelism, thirst for freedom. We have thirsty is a noun, for is a preposition, freedom is a noun, another noun. Cup of bitterness. This is another. Parallelism. I think. Okay. Finally, do we have repetition? No, not available. We don't have any kind of repetition in this passage. I know that the session is going to end, but what I'm supposed to do that you have a table on page 267. We're supposed to fill in this table right now. So we can use the thing that we have found, or I brought for you some different things. Let's look for here the rhetorical devices you are looking for. Here example from the speech, and here explanation for this example that you brought. A charged language, I wanted to look for charged language in charged language in a special paragraph 3. You go to paragraph 3 and look for the charged language used there. Actually, when he said lonely island of poverty, how they are isolated by being very poor in an isolated island in the middle of the ocean. So it described the state of isolation that poverty caused for them. Okay, parallelism. Parallelism, repeating the same structure, not word. Where can you find it? Look in paragraph 3. Where can you find parallelism? Here. When he said, a lonely island of poverty and a vast ocean of material prosperity. He repeating the same structure by starting by an adjective, lonely, island is a noun, of preposition, poverty and a noun. The second part have the same structure. Vast is an adjective, ocean is a noun, of preposition, material, prosperity. Prosperity here is a noun too. What does this mean? It showed that African American had made little progress towards getting their freedom. You're supposed to write these things in your book, page 267. Repetition. Where should you look it? Look it between paragraph 17 and 24. If you have a look between glance, just a glance between 17 and 24, you will find these words are repeated. I have a dream. Repeated with the same word between paragraph 17 to 24. What does this mean? It shows what king hopes for his nation to achieve, which is what? Freedom, to get their freedom. Analogy, comparison. Look for that in paragraph 5. When he said insufficient funds in the great vault of opportunity that we have found it in the previous slides. What does this mean? He said that he means that American civil rights are compared to the bad check. It means that they are just writing check, but they are not giving us the money. So they do not believe that they don't have enough money, or that the Bank of Justice has been bankrupt. Again, we are not speaking about real money, we are not speaking about real bank. He's just drawing an image that they are keeping, the American government are giving promises, but they are not applying any of them. So they do not believe that they don't have promises in their bank, promises for justice, to apply the justice. Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry for the time was so limited, as you know. You'll find please watch the video, of course, and then try to take screenshots, and then I'll send you a homework. You'll find a homework to answer. Thank you, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.